with Ableton Live. Got Ableton Live on the go here. And then I can play the scene there. So when I push, normally I'll load the video into Live. I haven't got the project loaded up right now. But hope I don't get in trouble for that. So yeah, I have Ableton Live there. I've gone over 10 minutes. So what I do is I have Ableton Live. Anyway, sorry, I'm going to have to cut this into 2 parts. So, I should be on part 2 by now. I don't know, I ramble. I doubt anyone's made it to part 2. If you have, hey, welcome back. Right, so anyway, this is actually, now I'll talk about my actual setup. Right, so I have Ableton Live that goes on here. This is very unconventional. Most composers will work with Cubase, Logic, Digital Performer. I'm not sure how you pronounce it, but yeah. I don't. I work with Ableton Live mainly because what I like to do is I always approach things more of a sound designer than an orchestral composer like Beethoven or something. Beethoven. Did Beethoven do film scores? I doubt it. If he did, he'd probably been the best in the world. I approach things from a sound design. So what I'll do normally, if I've got the time, because this one might be a bit short on original sound design because I haven't got long to do it. What I'll normally do is record little bits of I'll record like little sounds or a guitar passage or something, and I'll edit it in with audio. And if anybody's ever tried writing music before with audio, other than Ableton Live, if you change the tempo of the track, your audio file goes completely out of time. Whereas Ableton Live's got a warping engine, which is brilliant, and it's easy to understand, so I can set warp markers on a piece of audio, and regardless of whether I change the time, it will stretch and it will play in time. That's why I started doing it. And then as I started getting more into orchestration and stuff, I ended up with orchestras and then MIDI. But I knew Live so well, it didn't make sense to change to Logic or Cubase, because I could work faster and more efficiently in Live. So I work in Live, and it's getting better. It's getting better for film score. I remember before version 6, I started on version 5, and I'm on 8 now. Before version 6, you couldn't load video in, and it was useless. But then, as soon as you could load video in and change time signature, that was a big one as well. It was perfect. You know, it does the job perfectly fine for film score now. So yeah, I work in Ableton Live, and I use Kontakt, which is a sample engine, and I use sounds from for orchestra. I use sampled orchestra normally for most of the film scores I do, because like I say, I approach things from more of a sound design point of view. So I try when I can to write music that doesn't use orchestra the normal way. I mean, if it's needed, or if the director wants it, you know, I'll write in this style, you know, this big Hollywood style. I can do that. That's what I'll do. But I like to, when I can, I like to make things not sound as they are. So it's easier to do with MIDI. So I load samples. I use a lot of Project Sam, projectsam.com, link, I don't know, whatever. Cine samples, brilliant. Brilliant percussion and woodwinds. And then I also use Heaviosity Evolve. I use that quite a lot, because that's is it cheating? Debatable. It's basically sound design in a box. So all those times when I would go and record a sound and then manipulate it and make a loop or a pad, it's done for me. So brilliant. I use a lot of synths. I use lots of synths, and I try my hardest never to use presets, because if you use a preset, someone else has used it. Always. I don't think there's a preset in any package anywhere that hasn't been used in someone's song at some time. So someone's going to sound like you. So, but if you learn a synth, even if it's not the best synth in the world, learn a synth, and then make a patch that's unique to you. It will be hard for someone to make the same sound as you. So you're always unique. Not that it matters. I mean, like, if it does the job, it does the job. Like Heaviosity Evolve. When you're on a tight deadline, like I am on this film, you sometimes need something there to go. You know, you need to be able to produce quickly. You can't just like I think Harry Gregson Williams said it once. If you're the type of composer that sits there waiting for the musings to come to you, you're not going to make it far in this business. And he's absolutely right. You can't piss about. You've got to do it. You've got to write it. Which is why I write themes first. Because when you've got a theme, you can approach a scene with a theme in mind, and it will tie the film together nicely, and you can embellish it, and you can twist and change it, and it's easier to manipulate things than it is to make them from scratch. So if you've written a passage or you've written an ostinato, you can keep not repeating it, but you can use it again in a different fashion. So I use my hands a lot. So you can take these sounds and you can manipulate them, and that's great. It saves you a hell of a lot of time, and you still get the high quality because you've got these themes in place. Yeah. So Ableton Live. This computer over here is actually an iMac, and I've got Windows running on that at the minute, and then I've got a LAN cable going from the Ethernet from that into that, and then the line out on that onto the input line in on that. So and then I have a program called MIDI over LAN, so I can run synths on the PC that don't exist on the Mac yet. That's not so much a problem anymore because a lot of the companies have updated to Intel Mac now. This is a Mac Pro, by the way, so like the Intel ones. So a lot of companies have made the synths work on both machines now. But before they could, I used to run synths that don't work on Mac on there, and then I would play here, and then that signal would go to the PC through my Mac, through the Ethernet cable into the Mac. The PC would make a sound, which would send the sound back through the line into the input, and then I could record the sound on the Mac. Pain in the ass to do, but thankfully a lot of companies are making synths for the Mac now, so this doesn't actually get that much use. I want to use it more because it looks cool. Yeah, I've got for my speakers I've got BX8s. Oh, I don't know how well you can see them. Probably see that one better. Probably not at all. Not the best rack mount at the minute, but yeah, I've got it on it's on a stack of DVD cases at the minute with a moped underneath. So not the ideal setup, but it works for me. And then a shelf full of shit. But whatever, that works and that'll do. So yeah, I plan to keep this updated for as long as I can. If anybody watching this wants to know anything about what I do, ask, because it'll make my... It's easier to answer questions in these video things than it is to actually just talk for like I am now. That's awkward. So yeah, themes, that's where I'm at the minute. Hopefully I'll be able to show you more themes and how they're developing over time. And hopefully within the next few days I'll actually start writing cues with my themes. Not rush mode, but I'll be writing them quick. And I should have some prototypes up soon, but I'm not sure what I can show and how much of the music I'm allowed to actually share with you guys, if you even care. But you know, that's the way it goes. So yeah, themes is the theme of the day. I sound like a pretentious arsehole. It's all good. That was like my Robert De Niro face. Anyway, I digress. So I'll try and keep up with this video blog when I can, and hopefully next time I'll have some direct feed footage or something from my workstation while I'm working, so you can actually see how I write. I've talked a little bit through my process, but yeah. So I'll get on now and back to work, and I'm not sure when the next video blog will be up, but I'll try and keep it updated when I can, because it'll keep me focused. Okay, if you've made it this far, well done, and thanks for watching. I'll keep you updated when I can. Thanks.